Men of God, hey, just wanted to pose a question to you guys. Have you ever had, if you lead a team, have you ever had moments where it's just like you're sharing your expectations, but like things are just not getting done with your team? I coach a guy, and he came to me and said, "Man, I'm like, there's a couple guys on my team that I'm sharing this stuff with, and I need them to get these things done, but just man, they're just not getting it done. I don't. How do I motivate them to get them productive?" And so what I did is I took him through a couple tools that really, at the end of our coaching session, really helped him. And the two tools here, I'm going to share my screen, are called the expectation scale and the clarity tool. And so when it comes to expectations, like what expectations do you have? Ask yourself these questions. What are my expectations for the people in my world? So whether it's a team that you're leading, or even in your family, or some people in your ministry, what are your expectations? Have you ever sat down and actually kind of mapped them out? Like, what do I expect from my team, and like what time frame do I expect those things to be done in? Right? Write them down. Understand what they are, because once you actually map those things out, you might find in your mind that, man, maybe these things are more unrealistic than I thought, or maybe these things are too easy. So the next question is just that, of those expectations, then where do they land on the scale above? So this is the scale, right? You have resigned, limited, realistic, unrealistic, and impossible. So on the left end, well, at least on my screen, the left end here is like, are my expectations just kind of sandbagging? Are they easy? Am I really not challenging my? We talk about liberating leaders bring high support, but they also bring high challenge. And so, are they not challenging enough? So that really, I mean, my people are more capable than what I'm giving them, right? Like, can you challenge them more? Are they more in that realistic category? Slide the scale to the other side, and it's like, well, okay, man, are these expectations too much? Are they unrealistic? Or are they simply impossible, right? And sometimes you may not know. It might seem to you that they're realistic, but have you ever talked to your team and said, hey, look, honest opinion, you're not in trouble here. Are my expectations, what do you think they're realistic? Do you think they're impossible? Can we get this done? Just see what they say, right? So what are my expectations on the scale above? And then finally, have I communicated those expectations clearly? What seems like something that you've communicated clearly may not be for your team. And so when it comes to communication and communicating your expectations clearly, I took I took him through the guy coach a tool called the clarity tool. And so when it comes to anything that you guys are doing, any sort of plans or actions or projects or tasks, I want you to try running your plans through this simple tool called the clarity tool. And it works like this. Number one, is my plan simple? Is it simple? Right? What might be simple to you may not be simple to your team. And depending on their leadership voice and how they lead and how they communicate, they may not come to you. And by the way, how you lead, they may not come to you. Maybe they're in fear. Hopefully they're not. Or maybe they're embarrassed. I don't know. But not always does our team come to us being like, hey, man, this plan is just, you just didn't communicate clearly enough. So a liberating leader goes to their team and says, hey, look, was that plan clear? Was what I said simple, or was it really complicated? How can I make it more simple so that you understand it and can take it and run with it, right? Is it easy to understand? Ask your team, okay? Ask yourself, ask your team. Number two, is your plan sustainable? And so what that means is this, is your plan, or are your plans able to be maintained and upheld over time? So you get this plan, you get your people pumped up, they're excited, they're going for it. But is this something that, I mean, maybe this plan, this task or plan, it could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months. But is it able to be maintained? So after the rah-rah ends, like, and the initial communication starts, like, can they maintain this over time? Or is it something that has to be recorded back and said, hey, okay, how do I make sure that this can actually get done within the time frame I'm asking them to do it in? Is it sustainable? Can it get done over a period of time? Can it be upheld? And then the last one is this. Ask yourself this. Is my plan, or are my plans scalable? Right? So a lot of you guys are leading teams or ministries or whatever, and they're growing. People are coming in, recruits are coming in, new hires are coming in, and you have this plan, you have this action, we're all going this direction, and now you start throwing these new people in that you need, but man, can they mess up the works, because the chemistry is already there, we're already working it or whatever. But can your plans grow without breaking or changing when you begin as you're growing, right? And so when you're sitting this down, man, as we're growing, is this plan able to go? Can we scale it with new people, or is it going to break the second someone comes in and has no idea what to do? I don't have the right people in place to train this new guy or whatever, right? Like, is your plan scalable? Because if it's not and you're a growing team, you're going to be in trouble when that starts to happen. So anyway, guys, that's 2 quick power tools that's going to help you guys, I think, when it comes to talking about, are your expectations, are they realistic that you're asking your team? And then also, are you communicating those expectations in a clear manner? So anyway, guys, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you guys have questions, and good luck. Hope you guys are doing awesome.